These two bad boys. I think it's safe to say that didn't work.
Happy Friday flip day, everyone. Let's get into it, starting with the stucco.
We're getting the big guns out. Big strong man. Thank you. Hello, you guys. It's another day, another beautiful day. And this time we have a lot of time to work up here, which is so nice. We haven't had a full day to work on the bell tower yet. So it's gonna be great having a very solid chunk of time to get a lot done. It's 12 o'clock right now and we have nothing else going on for the day. So we're probably just gonna work as late as we have to get the stucco done. Is it gonna work? Don't get your finger in there or my hair in there. You would do that. I'm gonna smack you. I'll quickly show you what we have for the stucco. 2 mudding trays. We bought 2 new trowels, but really cool stuff that I found in the basement. These 2 bad boys. This is what was used to do the original stucco all throughout our church. Is that a bee? Mm-hmm. They're very rusty. We won't be using them, but I thought it was cool, so I figured I would show you guys. And on top of that, the thing that Dom was driving me crazy with, we also found this down in our basement, which is perfect because we need this. But it has lots of green paint on it, and I was trying to figure out what it was used for that it got green paint on it. And the downstairs apartment, the original flooring was this dark green color. This is the paint mixer that they used for all of the green paint flooring, which means this is also very old, and I just think that's cool. So we're using it to redo their work. And the last 2 things, some all-purpose sealant. It's paintable, lifetime guarantee. This is the good stuff. Flexible, superior, easy water cleanup, interior, exterior, all the good stuff. We are gonna do the little fine detailed cracks with this, and then we'll be able to paint over it. We have a 5-gallon bucket. That's what we're gonna mix it in. And the amount of water that we need for 1 bag. They say to use 3 quarts and a little bit more if you need it. This is what we got. It's a just add water mix. So we finished the B-board on this wall. We are going to cut out this section. I'm going for it, babe. We're gonna start easy with this little baby hole. I'm gonna use the little trowel. It's hard because I don't know if I have the right consistency. Oh, that's really messy. Oh my. I'm gonna try this trowel instead. I added a little bit more water. Oh babe, would you say that's a little better?
Probably.
That's smooth. Maybe I was trying too small of a hole.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh. Oh my.
I lost quite a bit on the floor, but I'm just gonna pick it up because I don't care.
Difficulties of it dropping a lot, so this is what we have to save our flooring.
Doing the stucco for the first time was definitely a learning curve. Sometimes it worked out great, and then other times it just seemed impossible to get the texture right, lay it on right. So some of it was great and some of it was a huge struggle. I have done drywall and drywall mudding before, and it's completely different. Definitely like drywall mudding, much better than stucco. The most difficult thing was just learning the consistency for me.
We have this much left. It's getting really dry. I'm gonna put a bit of water in it and make it very runny. I'm gonna try to stucco in between all of these lines. We have our Ziploc bag and our very runny stucco. I'm gonna put the stucco into the bag. Got my bag full of very runny stucco. Hopefully I didn't make it too runny. I'm gonna start with a very small hole and doing the thinnest lines, and then I'll cut it larger and do the thick lines. And I may add a little bit more for the thick lines so that the stucco is thicker. It's not really going how I had hoped. I think it's safe to say that didn't work. Trying something else. So it's a little bit past 4 o'clock. I did not get nearly as far as I thought I would. It's taking me a lot longer to figure out the technique with the texture, with where I'm putting it, depending on how thick it is, what the surface I'm putting it on is. Lots of different stuff. It's okay, I have to remember, I've never done this before, and I'm thankful that I have nowhere to be today. This is what I've got done so far. This one needed to be a little more thick, so I did this right away so it could get drying, as well as the middle part. I'm pretty happy with how this middle section turned out. This part is pretty even with it, so I didn't do any extra there. This was the very first patch I started on, so you can see that's already drying. We did some work down here, that big patch. This is the first part I tried. And we got this whole zone done, which I'm actually really happy with how that looks. There's gonna be trim like right here, so I think that will be good. As you just saw, that's kind of an up close. This is with the piping, which I like a lot more. And this was with me just shoving it in however I could. But we're gonna have to figure out something much more efficient for that. And here's another little area that I did. That part is almost completely dry. So I think it's going pretty good. We just have all of these windows to do, which is definitely going to be the most tricky part. So we are going to mix up some more stucco real quick, try to get the right texture for this, and I'm going to see what I can get done. So I did this whole section, and I think it turned out really well. I like the texture a lot. As of right now, we're planning on keeping this curvature. If it doesn't look good, we'll end up stuccoing over the whole thing. There's gonna be trimming around the windows right here. So we have to do that one, and then Dominic is gonna do that because I'm too scared, I'll admit it. Hey guys, it's the next day and we got the stucco done, the main area is done. If you hear a sweet child in the background, it's because I'm FaceTiming my friend Fanny. Say hi, Fanny. You're on a table of tools, by the way. Stucco went very well. We're gonna do one last coat, probably not today, but tomorrow. Just a finishing coat, leveling everything off. From what we see so far, it went very well. So today, the plan is to fill in all of these little cracks along the wall. There's a lot of them, and I don't know if we'll get to anything else, but at least we're doing something. It's better than nothing. Hello guys, it's the next day. I'm going to quickly show you what I got done. I was only able to fill in a little bit of the lines, so I'll show you what that looks like. It's looking pretty good. The texture I'm very happy with. I think it'll be really easy to paint. So that is everything we got done. As far as the stucco goes, this one and this one were very thick and they are now dry. So that's really nice to see. I really like this one. I think that's the best one so far. This one is all right. It's just a lot of texture going on. And then this one looks fine. From the front, it looks great. But the problem is when you turn, you can somewhat see the divot there. Hardly even shows up on camera as much. And we hardly have any stucco left. I'm pretty sure we only have enough stucco to get this and this finished off smoothly. So I really don't want to keep filling this one in if it's not totally necessary. In the meantime, I'm just gonna try to finish up filling in all of the cracks so that's totally done, and then we will move on to stucco. This is another area where from the very front it looks fine, but then if you go sideways, you can see how indented it is. So just a couple areas that need a little bit more work, and then I think we should be good to move on to other things.
This section was really hard. I was basically full planking from a higher step in order to reach, so my arms were so tired. This kind of stuff is honestly so therapeutic. I only think the people that truly enjoy projects and renovations would understand. This is genuinely the most relaxing, de-stressing, and fun hobby that I do.
All right, we are finally done with filling in all of the cracks. We got a lot done. I'm really hoping that this paints over well. But yeah, right now we have some seriously veiny, marbly-ish looking walls. It really makes all the cracks very obvious. Our walls have varicose veins, babe. They've been through a lot lately. It's due to stress.
Wow.
You like?
A lot better than they used to.
You think it'll work to paint over?
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Just like everything else we do, it's gonna be perfect, right?
Sure.
We like to be positive around here.
I am just scraping the stucco even. It actually worked better to use the trowel to scrape it evenly than sandpaper.
So I just finished sanding it, and it looks so much better. It feels way better. It's way more flush. You can see everything that came off. I had way too much on there. This was also another area where there was so much more on than what I needed. As well as this one. This one cracks me up. This was my actual first test try of a little hole, and it was that tiny, but I had that much on there. We also got this section sanded down. Again, you can see the excess that was on there that I took off, and it's much more flush with the wall now, which is great. So I'm just gonna add some in right here, and again, try to blend it down a little more seamlessly, and just try to get the texture a little better with all of these areas. I just finished patching everything up to the best of my abilities. I know it could look better, but I really think this is the best I can do. I'll show you guys once everything is completely dry and once it's done, but that means the next thing is the ceiling. We've been putting the ceiling off so much because we just don't know how to fix it, and it's really tricky, and so we've been putting it off, but we really want to get it fixed before we start painting. Dom is tackling the ceiling on this dreary Saturday. Oh my word. Babe, you should really be wearing a mask.
Alright, it is the next day. Dom got half the ceiling done. Today I'm going to clean this major mess up while Dominic fixes the rest of the ceiling. For For the other half of the ceiling, Dominic ended up taking this board, cutting it down to fit in between the beams, and for all the tongue and groove that doesn't line up with the beam, he's just going to screw it to this board, which worked really well in the end.
It's like a storage unit you didn't know you had. Perfect.
And that is going to be a wrap on today's Friday flip day. The next episode is all going to be on deep cleaning this place, prepping it for paint. We're going to paint the ceiling, walls, all of it.
Praise the Lord!
Chris is gonna get undone.
So please make sure to like and subscribe, and with that, we will see you in the next one.
That's exciting. That one was pretty easy.